So back at the beginning of the month when I went down a rabbit hole at Chamel's website, I found this little starting point. I thought it would be really fun to kind of start my layout with that today. So starting points are just photos. They're on her blog. And she starts with just this idea of a layout design. And then from that layout design, you can go ahead and you can do whatever you would like. So that's what we're going to do. I just thought it was a cool design, and I was kind of looking for some inspiration, and I was working on organizing all the sketches for Chamel's Sketches Reimagined. And I went down a rabbit hole flipping through her blog. So you saw me kind of flip through all the papers in my Simple Stories Great Escape collection, and I went for this one as my background. I just really liked it, and it went with my photo, and it was one of those papers that it's dark. I'm a little concerned about the darkness of it, but at the same time, it is so cool. So I'm going to start by kind of picking some accent papers that are on the lighter and brighter side to help kind of counteract some of the darkness of my background. You guys know me, I don't like a real dark background, but I really loved this paper. So we are totally going to make it work. I'm going to start by matting my photo with this orangey polka dot paper. I thought it was a really nice paper. And then I decided I better pull out my big guillotine trimmer because I'm going to be doing a couple of other mats to get the base layers of my page down. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just matting my photo. So I know that photo is 4x6. I get all my photos printed at Persnickety, so I know that just like their name implies, if you order a 4x6 photo, it really is 4x6. I'm going to use this green paper. So I'm watching the pattern because I don't want my words to be upside down. There's like little words on here, some text, and I kind of have a thing about upside down text. So now let's talk about how we're going to make this background paper pop a little bit. I'm going to add a ton of white splatter. You've seen me do this before. So this is Dinah Wackley's Gloss Spray in White. And when I use a darker background, adding that splash of white just helps. It really, really does. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside to dry. Now I'm going to grab some of these cut apart sheets and cut apart some of these cards that I really love. You guys have seen, this is the third layout I've done using this collection, so you've seen me use these cut apart sheets before. And I love them. I'm going to go ahead and use this tiny square one as well. And I'm definitely going to go ahead and grab this camera. So I love, love, love this sheet. It's this image with the aqua on the back and the camera. I think it's a couple places in this collection, and I just love it. It's like the coolest camera. I love a good camera. And I'm going to use the mushrooms again because mushrooms are my jam. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to trim up all of these cut apart pieces I want to use, and now I'm going to figure out my layers, where I want everything to go. So just like I did with my first layout, this one's going to have a lot of distressing. I'm going to use my Making Memories distress tool. First, I'm going to decide how I want my layers to be. So I definitely like this, and this is kind of what I'm going to go for. I'm going to use these cut apart pieces to start some of my embellishment clusters and decide where I want to kind of tuck things in. And once I have all of these elements and I know, okay, I like this is where everything's going to go, I can pull it all off, which is what I'm going to do here before I get it down and start inking or start adhering things down. I'm going to distress all the edges and ink all the edges. I've said this before, this collection just says, please distress the edges and ink with Vintage Photo because it just works so well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with this last cut apart piece. You can see all the ones over there. They're all inked. They're all distressed. They're all ready to go. And they look awesome. That's kind of the fun with having a collection that has this simple vintage feel. I love Simple Stories. These simple vintage collections that they've started to come out with, they're so pretty. They speak to me. This one especially, just love it. I definitely have more of this collection, so there will be some more projects in the future, but these three, and then there's a Traveler's Notebook spread that is on the Cherry on Top blog that you can see, and that will be up in the next few days, I think. So I am doing this video really, really, really early. It's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm voiceovering it 2 weeks before it's going to go live. So just a heads up, if you go to the Cherry Top blog and it's not there quite yet, or it's already been there, I'm sorry. But if you follow me on my other social medias, you will find it there. So I've glued down or tape runner down or adhered down all of the base layers, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere the cut apart pieces that I distressed as well, and I'm going to add some foam squares just to the backs of some of the cut apart sheets. So you can kind of see here what I mean. I'm just adding a little bit of dimension to one end of that cut apart, so it will slide under my photo, but then it'll have some dimension at the other side of the photo. This is something I really like to do. You do need a thinner foam adhesive to make this work, but it's totally awesome. This foam adhesive that I'm using is actually the inside of some shaker foam shapes that I'm trying to use up. I am on a mission to use all the foam adhesive in my stash before I purchase more, because right now I kind of have all these like half-used packages of different kinds and different thicknesses, and I just need to use them because they're really just taking up space. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of a secondary cluster up there in the corner. And again, I added foam adhesive just to the bottom of that, so the top of it is attached to the paper, but then it kind of flicks up. Does that make sense? You can see here what I'm talking about. See how I have like crazy weird foam adhesive. So now I've gone through all of the die cuts. I've chosen a few that I really wanted to use, ones that fit in, things that matched. And I'm going to go ahead and add them. I'm using that little metal piece at the bottom under there as my title. It says, "Oh, the places you'll go." You've seen me flip through this die cut pack a couple of times, and I just pretty much do the same thing. I flipped through both die cut packs. I found like a pretty kind of already clustered piece. I actually found two already clustered pieces on this one from the ephemera pack, and then I added some of the foliage, and butterflies, and a mushroom. Of course, a mushroom, a little yellow bug, like cute little outdoor type things. And so that makes embellishing really easy, these kind of clustered together pieces that are in the ephemera pack. Now I'm just going to add my Into the Woods Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins. They match so beautifully. I love them with this collection. They are a great fit and a great match for it. So I'm just adding some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and then I'm pushing the sequins in. I don't know why I didn't get my crystal katana out. If you watch my channel a lot, you know I usually do, but today I don't know, wasn't feeling it or something. So you can see how I do this. I just drop some Nuvo adhesive, grab a sequin, push it down. It's not messy, it's not hard. There are a couple of ways you can do adhesives for sequins too. You can always use the bling glue dots. Those work well. I'm just on this kick of using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, so that's what I'm using. That's going to complete this layout for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. And please, if you haven't yet, grab some of this collection. I know that a lot of my subscribers have different styles than me, so it might not be the perfect fit, but if you like it, definitely. So cute. And look at the mushrooms. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.